Hello everyone. This hour on Verbling, the next in my Getting Results in Business series, we are going to be starting a brand new unit today. As I'm talking to you, I'm just going to start opening the material so it'll be ready when the class begins in just a minute. This brand new unit is all about job performance. We'll be talking about confidence in performing your job, evaluating people, appraising people, and the language, the key vocabulary and expressions you can use to carry out those kinds of tasks. More about that in a minute, but first, a little bit about me. I'm John Eric, your verbally teacher for this hour. I'm an American teacher from New York, hanging out in Lisbon, Portugal to bring you this class. By the way, here are 3 quick rules to help you participate. Don't forget to turn off, tune in, and open up. That means when you're not speaking, turn off your microphone so we can keep the classroom quiet. When you are speaking, tune in to the new words and expressions and use them as actively as you can so I can correct you and give you feedback. And finally, open up to your classmates. Relax and have fun. We're all here to learn, and this is a safe and respectful place to practice your English. And that is a little bit about me. And let's see who's here. It looks like Mr. Sergio. Hello, Sergio. How are you?
Hello, Teacher John Eric. I'm doing great. Sergio. How are you?
So, Sergio, you told me before where you were from, but I completely forgot. Remind me.
Yeah, I'm from Brazil.
But you were living in the States, weren't you?
I originally from Recife, but I'm living now in Rio.
In Rio. You weren't in. You didn't tell me you were in Florida one time. Was that you?
Yes, I was in Florida.
Yeah, a long time ago you were in Florida.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Actually, I back last year, but yes, I think the last time when I was in Florida, yes, 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah, because I remember you had a different picture.
Yeah.
And so that's the point, because I saw you, and I now I remember who you are, because you changed your picture.
Yeah, I have changed. Actually, this is from Moscow.
And here's a good book from Brazil. You know this book? The Cinema of Glauber Rocha.
Oh, Glauber Rocha. Oh, it sounds your Portuguese is really going really well, right?
I've been here for a while. It's rubbed off. I never really learned it, but I speak it now because I've been here for so long. Have you seen any of the films of Glauber Rocha? Do you know his work?
Probably I have watched some, but I'm not sure about the author. So maybe I should check.
Director. Gil Isidore.
The director, actually.
Yeah.
The director. Yeah.
Maybe we can. Well, you've got to see. What's the famous one? Is Deus e Diable na Terra do Sol. I think it is. I can't remember the title. I'll let you know. It's been a while.
Okay.
All right. So, I don't know what's going on because lately the classes have 2 people, 3 people, and that's it. It's very strange. The business classes were always really, really full. And we got a lot of people signing up, but they're not coming in, which I find confusing. I hope there's no problems joining the class. If there are, people out there watching, if there's any problems joining, just write a message in the chat window so I can find out, okay? In the meantime, let's take a look at the material. Here you go. The material is always... Oh, I didn't put it there. Sorry, you don't have the material. I'll give it to you right now. Sorry about that. You don't have to open this, but if you want to hang on to the notes, I'll put it there for you. in the chat window. We're going to be doing the first presentation today, and I'll put it there for you in the group chat as well. Right? And meanwhile, I'm going to open the presentation in the background. Okay, so hang on to that link so that you can get a copy of everything that we do, and the homework will always be there as well. So if you click on the first presentation, you will see this.
Performance 1.
Performance 1. Now, we're going to do a little brainstorming to start with. So, Sergio and Ishmael, what do you see in the picture?
Workers.
Workers. Are they building a car?
Probably in the kitchen cooking.
Yeah. So are they workers? Because when you say workers, I think about people. Say again.
They are chefs in a French kitchen.
In a French kitchen. Oh, are they all chefs? Are they all chefs?
Not all chefs, but I think they are all chefs because they have a chef's hat on their heads.
They do have chef hats. You're absolutely right. but that doesn't mean that they're all chefs. So let's get that part clear. They're not workers because they're not doing
stuff.
Yeah, good. They're kitchen staff, sure. So let's put that in the chat window too. Kitchen staff. There is a chef. There is definitely a chef, but only one, because the chef is the boss. Okay, so that's what you see. What else do you see before we move on? You said it was a French kitchen. How do you know it's French?
Yes, that's really.
It looks like French kitchen.
In what way? Why French? Why not German? Why French? Why not Turkish?
The outlook of people associated me.
The outlook or the outfit?
Outfit and the kitchen atmosphere, people's outlook.
Outlook? I don't know what you mean by outlook.
People.
What does outlook mean?
Physical.
Appearance.
Appearance. Yes.
There you go. Okay, so look at those words in the chat window. Worker, kitchen staff, chef, outfit or uniform. They're wearing uniforms. Not really an outfit. An outfit is like something stylish. This is a uniform because everyone is dressed the same. If it's the same, it's uniform. One thing, one. And their appearance gives you a sense that it may be French. Okay. Second question. Why are we seeing this picture with this theme of job performance? What is it about the kitchen or the chef or the staff? What is it about that will help us with understanding how to talk about job performance? Sergio, what do you think? Why are we seeing this?
Maybe I think performance is really related how they can be they can produce like probably it's for me it's really crowd. I mean everybody is like in a rush maybe. Is that the time rush, maybe the lunch time or the dinner time, and they have to be efficient as
there you go.
As much as they can.
Guess what else we can say besides efficient? Guess what else we can say, Sergio? They have to produce. Produce is a verb. What's the adjective? What's the adjective form of produce? To produce, verb. To be
productive.
Very good.
Yeah.
Productive.
Productive.
So you could use it as an adjective. Oh, I wrote productive. Yeah, that's right, in the chat window.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good. So one aspect of job performance is being productive. And it's very crowded, so they have to have some teamwork, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, Ishmael, what else could you add to that? So, being productive, working as a team, what other aspects of job performance does this picture make you think of? Because there must be a reason why we're seeing this picture and not another, right? There must be a reason. It's to get us to think about job performance.
Our topic is we are going to talk about staff performance in business world, and this picture is associated with this topic.
Yeah. Okay, but in what way? You're absolutely right. We're going to talk about the performance of the staff, not just the individual. That's absolutely right. So, what is it about the French kitchen that makes you think about staff performance? Besides being that we got to work as a team, how do we evaluate staff performance?
There are many methods to evaluate staff performance. You
Okay.
are right, in business environment.
Okay, tell me one that you know about.
Uh, we can observe, we can collect some data, uh, and we can math with scientific methods or staff performance at workplace,
Mhm.
and we can ask people and make survey about coworker at the workplace and
Co-workers.
coworkers thoughts about
Okay,
the stuff.
just so we have observations, data collection, scientific methods, and questionnaires. I don't know what you mean by scientific methods exactly.
I mean, we can make survey, or there are, how can I say, ex, for example, for ordinary workers, we can mass the we can count the products which
Mhm.
an ordinary workers produce in a day or in a week or in a month,
Mhm.
something like this. We can mass their performance.
We can measure the performance?
We can measure their performance.
Ah, okay, now I understand. Okay, and so we can look at metrics. Do you know that word, Sergio? Metrics.
Yes, is when you follow up and track the results.
Exactly. And usually it's some kind of numbers so that it gives you a really clear answer about some aspect of performance. All right, that's the general idea. Let's start with the vocabulary section, as we always do. Start with vocabulary first. Talking about staff appraisals. Before we define what an appraisal is, I've got 3 questions to get you started. What criteria could you use to measure the performance of these 3 things? A company, a project, and an employee. Sergio, you were talking about metrics a moment ago, so could you use metrics to measure the performance of any of these 3 things? If not, what could you use?
To measure the performance. I think so. I think so. We could metrics. We can follow. We can use like a questionnaires, like a survey from the customers.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
to
yeah. See what the feedback is from the clientele. Absolutely. So that would be good for what? Your company, project, or employee?
uh, I think could be as well for company as well as for employee.
Mm. Okay. So seeing what the customers say. Now, is that going to be enough to tell us how productive a company or employee is? Is that going to be enough in itself?
Um, Probably not, but is there a good indication
Mm-hmm.
of how we are doing our job and how can you fix some issue? And
Okay.
yes, I think it's a good
Okay.
way to measure.
So it's definitely one of the tools we have. Let's be really specific now. Let's tell me about financial statements, Ishmael. For which? One, two, or three?
For example, for company or for project,
For
if
companies, for
for companies,
projects.
for projects, even for employees, we can find their financial statements.
Mm-hmm. So
And
yeah, can you
we,
explain
ma-
that a little bit? Oh, sorry, I lost the page. Let me go back. Sorry. Hold on.
we can match
There we
with
go.
the schedule, with the time schedule,
Mm-hmm.
John.
Okay. Let's go. Let's
We,
let's let's clarify a financial statement for a moment. What information will we learn about? What will we learn about in with the financial information? What kinds of things can we learn about? In other words, what makes up the financial information?
financial statement give us about the financial situation of the company.
And if it's good, we're going to look at what? If it's going well, we'll
They
see.
earn more money if the financial statements
Another word for
is
more money is?
positive.
Another word
Uh,
for positive, more money. Another word
Money,
is? The key word
Profitable
is
look,
profits.
profit,
profit,
And if it's
profit,
going badly,
profit, and
if it's
not
going badly,
profitable,
yeah, what's the opposite?
non profit,
Nah. The opposite is loss.
loss,
loss,
yes,
yeah,
That's it.
loss.
So
loss.
it's going to tell us about profit, about loss, and what do we call it? Not the profit and the loss, but just that money that flows in and out of the company, the capital that flows in and out of the company. In other words, the amount of business. The finance tells us the amount of business we do. What's another word for the amount of business? Do you
Amount
know?
of business. Capacity,
It means capacity, but it's not called capacity.
uh,
I'll give you a hint. It has the word over. It's a two-part word, and the second part is over.
overdraft,
Guess again. Give up? Take a look. Look in the chat window.
Turnover,
Turnover. Right.
turnover.
Let's say a quick hello to Abdullah, who's joining us now. Hello, Abdullah.
Yes, hi teacher again.
Abdullah from Yemen.
Yes, exactly.
You are with Ishmael from Turkey and Sergio from Brazil and John Eric from New York, who's living in Portugal.
Oh yes, yes, hi everyone.
hi.
Hi.
Did you have a connection problem before?
Oh well, actually, it's not about the connection, but that time I've got like something came up with me, and I had to go.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, I'm really sorry.
No problem. I just
Thank
wanted to
you.
know if there was any technical problem because the Hangouts were acting a little strange earlier. Okay.
Oh, no,
So
for me, it's good. For me, it's good.
okay, good.
Yeah.
So we're just beginning a new unit in our business class about job performance, and right now we're trying to decide how we measure performance of a company, a project, and an employee. And for the
Yeah.
company, Ishmael said correctly that we measure the criteria is really financial. That's how we normally do it. Now, there might be other ways, but generally, financially, we look at profit, loss, and turnover. Let's do the same for project and employee. Let's decide together what criteria we can use to decide if a project is successful and if an employee is productive. So let's go to number 2, project. How do we assess a project?
With the time schedule.
Okay,
Deadline.
schedule,
Um,
deadline.
and again, with the statements.
It is profitable.
Yeah, all that financial information can be summarized in one important word. What does every project have regarding money?
They have a budget.
Correct. So projects will be assessed in terms of budget. Companies will be assessed in terms of its financial health. Okay, now let's talk about budget for a second. If it's going well, how do we talk about the budget? What's the key word? If it's going well, we don't say profit, because projects don't have a profit. If it's going well, we say it is what compared to the budget? It is, or
We have a positive budget.
positive budget? Nah, doesn't work. It's easier if we talk about time. If the project's going well, we say it is what related to time? It is
Beyond the time schedule, beyond the
beyond?
budget.
No
Beyond? Beyond would be like extra. We don't mean extra. If you get done early, that's great. If you get done
Fit.
Align with the time schedule.
yeah, but we got a great keyword. We get done
On
On
time.
time.
on time. What about budget?
Budget.
What if the budget is going well? It means that we did not spend extra money. We spent exactly what we wanted. So we did the project.
Project runs according to its budget.
An easier way to say according to is
On budget.
on budget. On time, on budget. If it's going badly, we say, what about the budget? What about the time?
Over budget.
Correct. Over
Over
budget,
budget.
over time. That is it. If we do it, what about getting it done? Not getting it done early, this is a different term, but what if we spend less money? What if we spend less money than we expected?
Project had a poor performance.
No, I don't mean that. I mean the project had a great performance, but we spent less money.
We spent less money.
If we spent less money, that's good. That means we were super efficient.
Yes, outstanding.
Under budget. Yeah.
Under budget.
Under budget.
On time, on budget, over time, under budget. And for time, if we get done early, we don't say under time. We just say early, I guess. Let's talk about employees. How do we assess employees? It's not about budget. So how do we assess employees?
Performance.
Okay, that's true. But all of these are about performance, so we got to be more specific.
Achievement.
Okay.
Results.
Achievements, results. Absolutely. Achievements, results. What if you're a salesperson? What do you have? Salespeople have to meet their
Sales statistic.
Yeah, but we have a name for it. Begins with the T.
Targets.
Correct.
Yeah.
Sale target.
Achievements, results, and targets for employees. And we have something else you might know. Do you know what this is? KPI?
KPIs. KPIs.
You know what that means?
No, I don't.
You should. Let's find out.
I don't know. K performance indicators.
Key performance indicators, KPIs.
Oh.
Now, what's your job, Abdullah? What do you do?
Well, actually, I just graduated from the College of Engineering, but you know, I don't have a job right now.
And what do you think you're going to be doing when you get a job?
I will be a communication engineer.
Communication engineer. So
Yeah.
what does that mean? You're going to do sort of work on
Well,
mobile phones, or what does that mean?
Yeah. It's all about the cell phone stations and the local telephone companies and all those stuff.
Okay. So, key performance indicators are ways that we can, those are the metrics we talked about earlier. You might not have been here when we mentioned metrics. But, Sergio, these are the metrics, key performance indicators. Sergio, what do you do? What's your job?
Actually, I'm available for a new challenge. I've been working for BlackBerry for the last 7 years.
And now
And I was
BlackBerry
a sales manager.
And now BlackBerry is dead.
Not yet.
Not yet. So you're a sales manager. So you know all about KPIs, probably.
Yeah.
So if you were going to assess your communications engineer, Abdullah, what KPIs might you look at? What are some metrics you might look at to see how productive he is, if he deserves a raise or something like that? What do you think might be a good KPI for Abdullah? You had to work with people like this, right? You had to work with telecommunication engineers, probably. Not directly, but they were there.
Yeah, not directly, but probably the time, the time back. How can I say it? The reply time is something like.
Very good. Yeah. Response time.
Response time.
Very good. Response time is a very good KPI because it means that there's a problem, and let's see how long it takes you to even address the problem. Okay, that's good. Abdullah.
Yeah.
What KPI or KPIs would you use to assess Sergio as a sales manager for BlackBerry?
Oh, as a salesman.
Sales manager.
As sales manager, yeah. Well, I would say how much, I mean, how much did he achieve his achieve his targets?
Okay. So
Yeah, like this.
targets are definitely part of it, but he's also a manager, not just a salesman. He's also a manager. So we have to think about his staff, because he's the manager of a group of people too. So maybe the department's targets are his responsibility more than individual sales targets. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I get
Ishmael, what kind of KPIs did you have in your last job? You were dealing with training people mostly, weren't you?
Yes.
So as a flight trainer, how were you assessed?
Actually, there is no a rating assessment at my workplace.
Oh.
But if I write something about this, we can measure our productivity with numbers.
Right. And what kind of numbers would they be looking at for your position?
For example, in a workday, you give some ground lesson
Right.
to people, to
Like,
trainees, and you can fly with them in a simulator. You
okay.
can give them flying lesson.
So maybe it's about how many people you train in a given
Yes,
period.
in a week, in a month, and we can mass the people at the before the training their situation with an exam, and after training, and you can find the level of people with this training.
Absolutely. So if you've been an effective trainer, the exam results should be good.
Yes.
Of course, in reality, we know that's not true.
We can make some survey.
I can tell you from
trainees and get some feedback then about the teachers.
Okay, yeah, you can survey or do a questionnaire. I can tell you from experience, exam results have nothing to do with the teacher. You never know. You never know. It's very hard to test people, actually. It's not as straightforward as it seems. It's not just about knowledge. It's about how motivated they are, how comfortable they feel. It's a lot of factors that
yes,
very hard to test.
You can play with the number. There is a risk always, John Eric. But if you work in a workplace and if you have enough experience, you can observe everything. For example, I know all of the trainers at my workplace, and I know until they're hurt how they teach their trainees, how they fly on the simulator cabin, and so on.
Yeah, you have to go beyond the numbers and really see what people are doing. The numbers are not reality; they're just numbers, and it's very easy to get the two confused. In fact, politicians do it all the time with educational policy. Big problem in the United States right now. Well, I've got a few other questions for you to think about, and let me just take a look here. Hold on a second. Let me just see. We don't have time to do everything here. Okay, yeah, let's see. Let's look at a few other questions, and then I think what we're going to do is probably we'll do the reading today, and that will give us some new vocabulary. The readings, we might have to repeat it tomorrow, depending on who's in the class. But okay, I think we have time to do both. So, which criteria are the most important for each one of these? Well, we've talked about this a bit. Which criteria are easiest to measure? How is performance measured where you work? Well, we've kind of talked about all of these in general. Maybe I just ask for your final thoughts. Thinking about those three questions together, do you think that there's one particular criterion that's more important than the others in any of these cases? Particularly with employees, because we're going to be talking about staff appraisals. Do you think there's one criterion that's more important than the others when it comes to, in particular, appraising employee performance? For me, it's about going beyond the numbers and trying to use the numbers as a guide to understanding what's going on in reality, not getting stuck with numbers. Because we are more than numbers, I think. That's my theory. What do you think? What do you think, Sergio? Which of these criteria do you think is the most important?
Yes, I totally agree with you when you say we should use numbers as a guideline, but we have to be beyond, and we have to check the atmosphere. We have to check the behavior you have to check the if like have a team under you. You have to check the like they have work for like here for a company, and you have to visit the company. You go to the the this how to say district the to get you have to get out of the office.
Right.
You have to check the how this really work, because sometimes numbers can be just sometimes I not sometimes but I mean numbers are code, and sometimes they don't give us a real temperature about how our team are working, or maybe dealing with some how they are working,
How they work.
how they work.
You got to use the present simple because you're speaking in general.
Okay.
By the way, another good expression is you have to see it for yourself. Not just look at the numbers, but see it for yourself.
See for yourself. Yeah, see
Right.
it for yourself.
See directly. Okay. Well, let's look at one particular example of an appraisal, employee appraisal. We're going to read through this short article about how one type of company dealt with appraising or managing appraisals. Afterwards, we're going to try to pick out, well, this was a little bit different, isn't it? Hang on just a second here. No, we are. Okay. Well, we'll see how far we get. The first thing is really about comprehension. So you've got to take headlines here, match them back to key paragraphs. So it's going to be a slightly different exercise than we normally do. If we have time, we'll move on and work on the vocabulary as well. But anyway, you'll see the vocabulary through reading. Later, in tomorrow's class, we're going to be using it to talk about appraisals and do an appraisal, a little simulation. So let's do a bit of reading. Use appraisals to manage performance. Sea Zoo is Wales' largest marine aquarium, which attracts over 75,000 visitors a year. Director and partner Alison Lee Wilson describes how the company introduced an appraisal system that has proved to be a key motivator for its 25 staff. Okay, so what kind of company is this? What kind of organization is it? Big, little? How would you describe the organization?
It's a large sea organization.
I don't know if C organization is a way to classify a company, though.
Zoo organization.
I know, but think about the structure of the company or the size. Like Google is a behemoth. It's huge, thousands and thousands of employees. How does that compare to Sea Zoo? How would you describe the company?
Middle class
Middle class?
or small or
Class? Class for us is your social class. Middle class people, they want to have a house, a car, 2.5 children. Middle class.
Middle size.
Middle size, medium sized, or mid sized. Two words. Maybe the best is mid-sized. Mid-sized.
size company.
It's a mid-sized company. Well, maybe it's even
Small.
Yeah, it's only got 25 staff members. It's quite small, actually. So it's a big attraction to the public. But the company is actually quite small. Maybe it has a lot of board members. We don't really know, but staff is small. All right, Ishmael, you take A. Sergio, you take B and C. I'll do D and E, and then we'll each take the last one each for the last. Go ahead, Ishmael. You start us off.
Okay. When we started our appraisals, were more of an informal chat. As we grew, we decided to implement twice yearly formal appraisals. We wanted to make sure that employees' contributions fitted the goals of the business, and we also wanted to have the chance to recognize good performance and address any issues.
Two words to repeat. Recognize.
Recognize.
Yeah, not recog, but recognize. Recognize.
Recognize.
That's it. And the other one is to address. Not address, but is a verb. To address. Second syllable.
Address.
Good. So as a noun, address. As a verb, address.
Address. Address.
Address as a noun.
Yes.
As an action, to address. Clear?
Address.
That's it, as a verb. Okay. Sergio, the next two, they're short.
Okay. We invite staff to appraisals in writing, including a copy of the appraisal form to fill it in.
Copy.
The complete form is discussed during the appraisal itself with an emphasis on giving constructive two-way feedback. The majority of our performance objectives aren't as easily quantifiable as, say, sales targets, so we use a scoring system to monitor performance.
What's this one?
Scoring system.
Scoring system. Good.
Scoring system to monitor performance. The manager and employee rate each objective on a scale of 1 to 4, and compare the results, which can be very helpful.
Okay. Next two. Appraisals. Oh, by the way, just quick about pronunciation. Look at the past tense forms. Discussed.
Discussed.
Right. So when you have an S, the ED sounds like a T. And there was another one too. Completed.
Completed.
Right. Because you were saying complete, and I couldn't hear the last syllable. So after a T, the past tense sounds like tid. Completed.
Completed.
There you go. Okay, D and E. Appraisals also provide an opportunity to set performance objectives. We base ours on each employee's job description. We talk to staff so that we can agree with the objectives. We can agree the objectives with them, and they know what to expect. E. I used to think that it was my responsibility to conduct all appraisals. I've learnt, oh, that's British English. In America, we would say I've learned. I've learned that delegating to line managers is equally effective and demonstrates trust in their abilities. Okay? Last two paragraphs. Oh, let's just say oh, what happened to him? I was about to say hello, and he disappeared. Let's take the last two. Ishmael, can you take F, and Sergio, you take G.
In the early days, we also underestimated how long a true appraisal takes.
Thorough. 2 syllables.
Thorough.
Good.
It's counterproductive if the appraisee feels their manager has one eye on the clock. We now allow a minimum of an hour and a half for each employee.
Okay, and Sergio, the last one?
Okay. Providing an opportunity for staff to express their views and address any issues, it is a real moral booster.
Morale booster.
Morale booster.
This is different than moral. Moral is good or bad. Morale is how you feel, whether you feel motivated or not. Morale is actually a different word. Okay, so morale booster.
Morale booster. As given praise, where is due. It does take time and hard work, but it enables us all to have real communication and really motivates people.
All right, it's a lot of information there. Think about that. Let it sink in for a minute. Let's say a quick hello to, is it Chow or is it Pan? What do I call you? Chow.
Yeah.
Chow, Chow.
Ciao. Yeah. That's,
How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Very good. I can barely hear you, so you're a little quiet.
Now, is it
There
better?
we go. Much better.
Okay.
So, where are you from, Chow?
I'm from China.
I think you've been in my class before, but you keep changing your picture.
Yes,
I've seen you before.
Yeah, I've been in your class before. I think that was half of a year ago, because I have been joined verbing for 2 years, but for the past of half of a year I've been learning Spanish and verbing, so I barely joined English class. But now I'm about to work, and the working environment is English, so I decided to pick my English and to practice a little bit.
And you're in the right class, because this is
Yes.
business English. And where are you in China?
I will work in Shanghai
In Shanghai.
in a week. So yeah.
All right. Okay, very good. Very good. So, 你好.
你好.
So, okay. Were you following along as we read the article? I don't know if you saw the beginning of the class. Ciao.
Yes, a little bit. A little bit.
Okay. So we're going to work first with what the article means, but after class, I'd suggest you read this again, because we're going to work with the vocabulary in tomorrow's class. So for today, we're going to work just with comprehension. Ishmael and Sergio, I want you just to give the gist of the article, the main idea. What did Sizu do? What did they learn about managing the performance of their employees? What's the key point, do you think, that they learned?
How they can measure their appraisal with the employees.
How they can measure the performance of the employees, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, the appraisal is the measuring. The appraisal means to measure performance.
To measure, yeah.
Okay. So, what is it, Ishmael, I want you to add a little bit of that to that. What is it that they learned about measuring the performance? What did they learn what are they doing now that they might not have done before?
They learned that if you ask people about their thoughts, they this affects people in a positive way, and it is increasing their performance and their motivation.
It is increasing, or it increases?
It increases their performance and motivation of employees.
So, including their opinions in the appraisal. Is that the idea?
Yes.
Okay. Because you said their thoughts. I didn't know what you meant. Thoughts about what? You mean their thought? Yeah.
Maybe they are talking with the boss about the operation in the zoo, which is connected with their responsibility, how improve their operation. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, don't you feel the same way? If your performance is assessed and it's just you did this, you did that, and you just sit and listen, it doesn't really motivate you, does it? Wouldn't you rather hear? Wouldn't you rather people ask you? I mean, this is kind of I don't know about your experience, but the appraisal shouldn't be a negative thing, and I think that's what this organization learned. So one way to make it a positive thing is that you can find out about the operation of the company from the people at the front line. You can ask the staff. It can be a two-way communication situation. What do you think, Sergio? Would you add anything to that? Did they learn any other important lessons?
Yes, of course. I think this method we can have a feedback in two ways.
Mm-hmm.
It's really important because you can appraisal how you
We can
leader
appraise. We can appraise.
can appraise how you are like leading this team and how the feeling, how can you get the real feeling from this team.
The feeling, you mean the motivation of the team? How motivated?
The motivation, maybe which part, which issue we have to work on. Maybe if you feel, oh, they need more. I should spend more time like in motivating or maybe encouraging them to maybe the target is underestimate or maybe overestimate them.
So dialogue seems like the key.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay, I want you to, all three of you, I want you to skim through the article for a moment. Make sure you understand where the ideas are introduced, what's the introduction, what's the conclusion. Okay, I'm going to give you 1 minute to skim the article, and then what you're going to do is see a series of 6 or 7 headlines that you have to match back to the paragraphs A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So take a minute, read through it. Okay? And I'll give you about 30 seconds, and then I'm going to show you the headlines.
Do you want to headlines for every paragraph?
I think so. I'll turn this. I'll turn the, no the headlines I'm going to show you. You have to match them. But I think there's 6.
I couldn't understand exactly.
Take a look. So you have to match those headlines back to paragraphs A through G.
Okay.
Okay. Remember, you can open this. You can open this presentation directly. If you need to, you can open it directly. And I'll put again I'll put the direct link there for you as well, but it's in the notes. So take a minute.
Chapter 10, right?
It's chapter 10. What do you mean, chapter 10? You mean
no?
Unit,
I mean, yeah, unit.
Unit
10.
15.
Oh, 15. Okay.
There's no Unit 10 in the notes. There shouldn't be a Unit 10. There's Unit 15, which is on page 4 of the notes, and we're on presentation 1. But the link I gave you is the direct link even to that slide, slide number 6 of presentation 1. So slide 5 is the headlines, and slide 4 has the text. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to leave the text on there for a minute, and in the last 2 minutes of class, you tell me which headlines you would put for each of these paragraphs. Are we ready, or do you need more time?
We need more time.
Well, we don't have more time.
Okay, let's start.
Yeah, we have only just about a minute or two. So, first headline, we got sharing responsibility, worthwhile effort, developing an appraisal system, monitoring performance, don't rush it, how we conduct the appraisal, discussing targets. Those are our choices.
Number 4.
Okay. Tell me about it.
Monitoring performance, because they said they grew and now they want to know how the business, I mean, the integration.
So number 4 matches with paragraph A?
A.
Oh, I don't know if I agree with that. There's a better choice.
Understand.
Developing an appraisal system?
I think so, yeah. Why would developing an appraisal system be a better choice for paragraph A? I think you're right. Why is that more specific to paragraph A?
Because we talk about in paragraph A, especially the historical background of our company's appraisal systems.
Right. Gives the background. Yeah. So, okay, monitoring the performance is not the main idea. Well, let's do this, everyone, because we're actually out of time. Let's do this. Why don't you keep the link? See if you can do that first exercise on your own for tomorrow. Okay? We'll probably read through it one more time because we need to look at vocabulary too. But be ready to match those headlines to the paragraphs. Reread it again, make sure it's clear. And then we're going to move on to using the vocabulary to do an appraisal of our own. Okay?
Okay.
Ciao, you too. We're going to be back at the same time tomorrow to continue. And,
yes, for sure.
And 1 hour earlier for speaking skills, I'm going to do a new class, a new version of speaking skills, where every class we work on a specific skill. How to introduce yourself, how to talk about the weather, how to give directions. It's going to be very practical stuff. So our first new speaking skills class will be at 9 GMT, London time, and this class, same hour, 10 GMT tomorrow. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Have a great day.
Tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye for now, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, John Eric. Bye,
Ciao.
guys. See you.
Bye, guys. Yeah.